Well, welcome back to another Ruthless Ideas podcast. Today we have the heat to electric coaster and the piezoelectric shoes. So to start off, I designed this coaster that looks exactly like a coaster. You wouldn't be able to take it for anything else. And what happens is you take your hot coffee, you put it right on the coaster, and then there's a little device on the inside that converts the heat energy to electric. And then there's a battery as well in the coaster that you would charge, and then you're able to use that electricity you got to either charge your phone, or the coaster has a little flashlight on it, so you can use the flashlight and see your way to bed. I don't know when you're drinking coffee. Could be a possibility. But I just really like the idea that you can just have something hot, take the thermal energy from that, put it to normal energy where you can charge stuff, and then boom, it's solved. So this one did not perform very well. It has 5 views. That's okay. It's just way down from the other ones. And then it got one comment though, which was from Ace Nights that said, "I didn't know it was possible to convert heat to electricity. I thought heat was always wasted energy and couldn't be harnessed." Welp. That's why I'm here, is to teach. So, yeah, I mean, we've always had thermal energy, and so there's always been ways to kind of get the thermal energy and kind of transform it. It's just there's not a good way to do it and a quick way to do it. So now there's this new product. I don't know if it's new, but it's what I found on a little TikTok where it allows you to do that on a much smaller scale. So it can work. Another way you could do it is if you have a coffee cup that has this same kind of utility of being able to absorb the heat energy, turn it into normal energy, then you can have a coffee cup that heats up or keeps the coffee at the same temperature. So it can kind of go either way, but it's pretty cool. It's out there. That's what we like to see though. Now the next one, the piezoelectric shoes. So this idea I've had since about sophomore year of college, because in my materials class we were learning about how the big giant lighters, how they work. And so there's actually a piezoelectric in there that when you hear that little snap, you're actually snapping the piezoelectric to create a little spark. And then you have a lighter in there that has gas or butane or whatever that is pushing out as the light is ignited. And then that's how it's all started, and then it's pushing out through the tip. So that's how that kind of works. So then, the next day, I was in class and there's this guy just bouncing his foot. And I immediately thought, what if I just had it wear a shoe that if you bounce a ton, it just creates a bunch of energy, or generates a bunch of energy? And then I was like, well, I can't do that. But since we're in futuristic February, I could do it. So that's where that idea came from. So the product, fairly simple. It can go 2 ways. It could be the sole, so you can have a way to attach it to a shoe, or you could have a full shoe with this integrated into it, and then you can make it more comfortable and adaptable and more efficient, honestly. But it can go either way. It's pretty cool. And I mean, I was going to try to explain it. it literally just looks like the sole of a shoe. So you just take like a dunk or I don't know, pretty much a shoe, take the sole, there it is. But on the inside it just has like 5 layers of piezoelectric material, or just slabs, I guess, that when you step on it produces energy, can put it all the way up to your shoe, charge your battery so you can charge your phone. So this one, again, 7 views, not that good, but it's okay. And then I got 2 comments actually. So one from Owen Woods 690 that said, "Could you see there being a fire hazard with this?" Pretty much all the inventions I've done could have fire hazards. So this one definitely could be, but I guess I don't exactly know how moldable / what you can do with the piezoelectric, in as in like, can you coat it with something? Can you insert it into something, or is it just this blanket sheet type thing? So there would have to be, I think I'm gonna have to do more research on that to kind of get a final answer. But yeah, probably. I mean, if you're bouncing and then you just got these, not sparks, but jolts of electricity going, you could definitely light something on fire. So the next one is from Ace Knights that says, "What if there were Heelys that had this technology, except the energy generated would be used to drive, in quotations, the shoes, like an electric scooter on your feet?" So this is an interesting idea. I've never thought about that. That is definitely a possibility. I guess the main problem is, you're gonna have to get the skates out some way. You're not gonna walk around on skates. So getting those shoes out and keeping it, like, I don't know, in that, because the thing is, the sole of the shoe is all one part, and if you're gonna put skates in there, you have to break it up into multiple different parts. So if you're doing that and then putting something in the sole, you're not gonna get this evenly distributed kind of layer of piezoelectrics. And then on top of that, you're losing out on all the space where the skates go. And then if you're walking, you might just be walking on the skates, or if you're bouncing, you might just be bouncing on the skates, like on inside the shoe instead of actually on the piezoelectrics. So you might not even be able to produce that much. And then to go and try and use that as a scooter means you're going to need a lot more than just a little like phone charging battery to do that. You're going to need a ton more energy produced. You're going to need a ton more. You need a ton more stuff, because it takes about 36 hours with how I have it laid out right now to charge your phone to half, let alone drive an electric scooter in your shoes. So theoretically, yes, you could. Hypothetically or realistically, that is an insane idea. That is crazy. You need a way different energy source to do that. But I like the idea. It's wonderful. So now on to the little, I don't know, as you hear me talk, you hear me talk about the views, and it's like I got 5 and 7 views. I have 14 subscribers. Thank you all who subscribe. This is just on YouTube, but the problem is my videos are so boring, and I really need to spice them up. But the problem is, I have like 6 problems here. I'll try not to complain too much, but first problem is I need to do 2 videos a week, which means I have to have 2 ideas. luckily, I'm kind of switching up every month. And so you get a couple different, a couple different like styles, which allows me to kind of generate more ideas that are different. But still, it means I need to design the idea, record me doing making the idea, then editing the idea, which means that takes a long time. And then on top of that, doing that twice, and then on top of that, just getting everything done so that it's all posted and scheduling everything out is a lot to do. And then having to do that every week, it's like there's no breaks. So I need to figure out a way where I can edit videos and do all that stuff quickly while making the videos entertaining, but also making it simple that I can do it fairly quick and make sure I do it every week. And so it's like I'm in this just giant loop of I'm making videos, yet they're not good. So I need better videos. But then I also need to do the research, and it's just, I'm getting kind of overwhelmed. But the thing is, I had it right where I'm good, but good isn't great. And I kind of want to do this for a living because I love this stuff. So it means I need to upgrade how I do it. So that's all my complaining. But I think since y'all watch the videos from a different perspective, I need some ideas. I need some thoughts. So if you want to leave some comments, you want to go to my website and email me, throw out some ideas. Let's see what y'all can come up with. Help me create the best videos. I want to create the best videos. I want to engage people and show them my ideas, which are cool. It just sucks that I can't create an interesting video. I can just create an interesting idea. But I guess conveying that in an interesting way is where I struggle. So, if you have any comments, concerns, questions, tips, let me know. Let me hear it out. But, thank you very much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, morning, dinner, breakfast, lunch. And I'll talk to you in a week. Goodbye.